Maine Waterfront property. Camp on a lake in Maine. See the porch that's about 9 feet, 22 feet wide? You're less than 25 feet from the water. Where it is just as important as what it is. See the pipe with the orange? That is one of your corners. This is like an intermittent brook, so if you get any kind of runoff, it's not going through your property, it's next door. The doctor lives next door. It's nice to have a doctor in the neighborhood. Nice boat. Here's your road frontage on the pond road. You could build here and be in low-tax Dyer Brook, but have your lake fun in Island Falls. It's kind of neat how we have two towns that come together. It's a big lot, 9/10 of an acre. But being less than 25 feet from water's edge, you can't do this close a building now. This one's grandfathered in from back in 1946. We're heading out Route 2. It is early in the morning. It's going to be about 95 degrees today, which is pretty rare. We don't have a big humidity or a giant temperature like that very much, but when we do, we're lucky to be near a lake. Hello, I'm Maine Realtor Andy Moores. You and I are in the Jeep and we're pointed toward Pleasant Lake. Pleasant Lake in Island Falls. This property also has land in Dyer Brook. Big lot. You're on a very clean lake that's over 1,800 acres large. What's so great about Pleasant Lake besides no milfoil, super big, crystal clean, about 63 feet deep, overall about 36 feet deep? Well, Teddy Roosevelt, back in 1878, when he was a young man, liked to hunt, fish, paddle the canoe, and probably snowshoe. He came up to do all those outdoor activities and also took his Bible to a place dubbed Bible Point, for obvious reasons, to reflect, probably on the future as the President of the United States. So Teddy Roosevelt knew a good thing back in 1878. Island Falls is friendly, not overcrowded. Welcome to Maine. We're going to check out a cottage. It's pretty rare to have anything come up on Pleasant Lake. How come? Stays in families. People don't let go of it. Why would you if you're lucky enough to be on a lake 4 seasons? This one could be year-round because you're on the pond road, not a 3-mile in like a snake up and down hill to get to it. It's right off a paved road. Plus you're in 2 towns. So stay tuned. We're going to drone it. First thing in the morning is the magic time around the lake. Pretty nice at sunset too, but we're going to check out Pleasant Lake, which is near Mattawamkeag Lake in the hills of southern Aroostook. Just before we get to Island Falls, to go down the pond road to 10 Bowen Lane, we go through Dyer Brook. Part of the land in the back portion of this waterfront property is in Dyer Brook. Dyer Brook has one of the lowest taxes. How come? Well-run town. They actually had a lot of woodlots. They didn't sell them off. They manage them, and you get lower taxes because of it as a property owner. Pretty church. The Southern Aroostook School is right here in Dyer Brook. So if you want to live full-time on the pond on Pleasant Lake, your kids would be warriors. They would wear purple and they would go to Southern Aroostook. They have a heck of a sports program year after year, quite a dynasty. This is Route 2. So remember I said we're in the hills of southern Aroostook? Isn't this pretty? You have no idea how pretty, because in the fall when the leaves change color, that's pretty brilliant. When it's winter with snow and there's 100 miles of groomed trails that you can explore the area with your snow sled, cross-country skis. Maine is the way life should be. Another important feature of Pleasant Pond is the fish. Landlocked salmon, smallmouth bass. You've got your brook trout, pickerel, white birch, yellow perch. But it's so clean because a lot of the shoreline is just evergreen fir forested, just trees that keep it from a lot of development. There is a golf course on one end, that'd be the end that has some development, but a lot of Pleasant Lake is in T4R3. What's a T4R3? Doesn't even have a name. Township 4, Range 3, everything is set up in grids of 6 miles by 6 miles in Aroostook County. So a lot of the lake doesn't have any development and it won't. So that helps protect it. Pleasant Lake is crystal clean. I'm driving over from Drews Lake, where I live I'm driving over from Drews Lake, where I live in the summers, and that's a pretty clean lake, but Pleasant Lake is even cleaner. They work just as hard, and it's about 1,832 acres in size. This is the public boat launch. These are ribs they're putting in the water to make it easier to back your boat trailer into the Pleasant Lake. Not sure when that operation's slated. Tell you a lot about milfoil, check your props. Here's the boat launch on Pleasant Lake in Island Falls. It is so beautiful this morning. Usually the lake's like a bottle until some boats, the wind picks up. We turn down the Smith Road and then we take a left. See the sign? Bowen Lane. This place was built by the owner's grandfather back in 1946. So here we are. We're at camp. We're on the pond. Pleasant Lake. You've got about 9/10 of an acre. That is a huge waterfront property. This is the woods behind you. 90 feet of water. This frontage is all yours. You've got a nice canopy of shade trees, some smashers that were well established. It's just a camp. It can continue to be that or more. Look how clean. Look how big. 1,832 acres. It's fun to be parked next to it, but it's a lot more fun to be out on it, or on a hot day in it. Boards, real boards. Check out the size of these. This is from Johnson Motor. Happy fisherman that just happened to have a Johnson motor. That's pretty old. It's the studs, so you could easily add wiring. A wall of windows around the front. Dine here, even sleep here. You've got 3 bedrooms, but you'll use this region too. The little bed, it was cooler on some nights to sleep out here. Plus you can hear the water lapping on the shoreline, the lake looms. More big boards. Gas stove with a little end heater. Here's your 3 bedrooms. There's room really to put a loft up overhead with a pull-down stairway or a ladder. The kids like to be up in the loft. They have their own little apartment or a little privacy. Bedroom number 1. The middle bedroom. number 2. The end bedroom, number 3. Tell your friends you're up to camp in Maine. Here's your storage area. You gotta have a place to put water skis and all the life jackets, fishing rods. This one was painted. This is the powder room. Like a half bath. Nope, there's a shower too. You're up at camp. You can use the lake. Here's your shower. So what do you think of this Maine Waterfront property? 10 Bowen Lane, Pleasant Lake. I think it's pretty impressive because you're so close to the water, less than 25 feet off it. You've got 3 bedrooms. You could finish this off or keep it just a camp. Yep, there's work to do. There's a job jar. I'd put metal from the Amish on the top. I would probably put some doors in, might do a loft depends how many kids you got and who's gonna come visit. Plenty of land. The front's in Island Falls, the back's in Dyer Brook. The taxes on the Dyer Brook part are like $100 and something. It's a pretty well-run little town. 90 feet of frontage on Pleasant Lake, and it's all yours. It's right in your lap. Please look down below. The price, how to get hold of us, more property information, room dimensions, everything is down there. Plus information on the Island Falls, Dyer Brook area. We'll see you next time on the Maine Real Estate Channel. Thanks for watching to the very end. We'll have another waterfront property right after this one, so stay tuned. Please share the video with someone you know that could be looking for a place like this if it's not you. Please like the video and make comments. What would you do with this area? How would you finish it up?